Welcome to Worms and Warriors, and welcome to Grand Tactician, the Civil War, 1861 to 65. For regular viewers of the channel, you'll know we're on a different screen here than we normally are at the start of this campaign, or the battles rather, the series. It's simply because I wanted to address something for patch 1.09. We're now on 1.0904, so the fourth update of the 1.09 beta patch. They usually have somewhere around 10 to 15 updates before the new patch goes live, so we're kind of just at the beginning of this one. Unless it's a shorter one, obviously, which is possible. But anyway, I wanted to address some changes that were in 1.0903. And that was basically, I haven't played it myself. I've been off the grid for a few days. I haven't really been on the net other than like the odd thing for work. But I've taken a few days off from gaming and a few days off from the internet in general. But anyway, I've been reading 1.903. That there's a lot of complaints about over-aggression from the AI. I haven't experienced it myself, but we're going to go into this one. It's 1.0904, and we'll see if the AI is more aggressive. But like I say, I have read a lot of people saying the AI is too aggressive now. They're too aggressive when pushing against your artillery units or something like that. We'll see what happens with it. I'm not sure. I do feel this game still needs a lot of work. It needs a lot of updates. The AI could really do with a proper kick up the arse, if I'm honest, because it's not good. It's poor. It doesn't seem to matter what you have the AI set at on the campaign map. The aggression from the AI is just constant attacks. And I do know there were a lot of battles in this war, but it's just like for the sake of gameplay, it doesn't make for a very good, fun game as far as I'm concerned. When you're fighting a battle every 2 minutes, it never gives you any time to play on the campaign map. Now, some of you guys might like that, but I prefer the strategy side of this game rather than the tactical battles. I actually, you know, it's one of those things that I actually like about Agiod's American Civil War 2. I don't know if you've ever played that or aware of it. I like that the battles aren't actually tactical battles on that. It's just kind of you're the commander, the overall commander, the commander-in-chief, if you like, and you're letting your generals take care of the battles, which kind of makes it a bit more realistic and a bit more haphazard as to what happens. Because really, I mean, if we're being honest here, I know I've lost the odd battle here and there, but generally, if I'm going into a fight where I'm outnumbered, even if I'm outnumbered by, 10, 20,000, you're usually going to come out with a win. And so are most people who've played this game for any substantial amount of time. So I do feel like the AI needs work, but then that can be said for all games, to be honest. All the games that are where tactical combat is involved. Total War games, for example. I mean, it's pretty difficult to lose a battle on Total War unless you're completely outnumbered. But anyway, that's beside the point. But I do feel like they need a lot of work on this AI. I think they need to step back the aggression of the AI on the strategic map, on the strategic level. It's like constant attacks. They never seem to have to recover their readiness at all. They just seem to just come at you again and again and again with the same commanders, the same units in the same place, which, like, I mean, I know that did happen historically, but it does not make for a very fun gameplay as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, that's enough waffling on about this bullshit for me now. I'm going to load in the game and we'll have a go through the next battle, which was coming up. It looked like a good one. I'll see you in a moment. Okie dokie, here we are then. So we are facing Charles S. Hamilton and 24,000 men with 60 guns at the Battle of the Chesapeake and Ohio Canal, Maryland. Another fight in Maryland. It's foggy, 56 Fahrenheit. Okay, so pretty nippy. It's the 2nd of October. We're nearing the very, very end of this campaign season. So, what do we got going on here? Let's refamiliarize ourselves. It's been a little while. Like I say, I've had a few days off the computer. And, oh yeah, here we are. It was a defensive situation, but when I saved it, but you load it back in, it says a meeting engagement. It's not really. We hold the objective here, Church Road. The AI is coming in from here. The Union, sorry, coming in from here. Yeah, so one entry point over here. I guess they're probably going to come straight down here and take us on. So let's have a quick look here. Who we got deployed? It's a fairly open sort of battle map. We've got Magruder's 3rd Corps. That's the main part of this fight. Okay. So on the line here, we've got 12-pound Napoleons. We've got Reboard musket-armed infantry and Mississippi rifle-armed guys in the picket. Lane is in reserve with his guys with Springfield muskets. Quite a lot of Springfield muskets still in this corps. We've got Lee on the field, and we are awaiting more reinforcements. I think it's Ruggles' corps. Ruggles is going to be 3 hours. All these guys are brand new troops. untested. This is the recruitment pool, basically. I just moved them up and attached them to Lee's army so that they would be able to reinforce in just this kind of scenario. So it's a good job, but I think these are very poorly armed troops. I think the cavalry might have decent weapons, but the artillery's got nothing. And these guys probably got mixed muskets, if I remember right. Okay, so we're going to start this fight now. It's 0700 hours. We've got a few little defenses set up. We'll see what they do. I mean, I kind of expect them to come down the Creek and Church Road, maybe. Is that what it is? Can't really make it out. Road, Creek, Church Road. I don't know. Anyway, so they're going to. Hopefully, they're going to come down this way, and we'll be able to give them a bit of a kicking. We've got Barton's division in reserve. We haven't. I just hadn't finished setting these guys up. Okay, so I'm going to do that now. Okay, so now we've finished setting up our guys, and here we are. Just a basic defensive line. We've got some Williams guns up on the line over here somewhere. These guys, so they're awesome. First battle for those guys. A first battle for a few of these dudes. Griffith's Brigade, first battle. Dole's first battle as well. Manigault, not there, okay. But there's a few first battle guys here. This is not an experienced corps. This is not one that's done a lot of fighting, obviously. Some fighting, though. But let's get started here. Let's get going. We've got one cavalry unit. Fitzhugh Lee's 1,200 men. Lee's regiment are just in the rear. We're going to use them to plug gaps if we need to, or quickly move. Springfield Musketoons, I mean, not amazing, but okay. So we've got Lane's brigade here in reserve on the right. We've got Crutchfield's artillery behind the line on this hill. We've got Pegram's brigade in reserve over here, and then Dole's out on the far left. And we can move them around, of course, if we need to. Ruggles is arriving in 3 hours. We've got about 30,000 in the field. They've got 33,000. It's pretty close. Of course, we will have an extra 10,000 or so men arriving under Ruggles. And yeah, this is now switched to a defensive situation. So I haven't attached Lee to a division. Lee's cavalry, that is. Usually I would put these guys into a division, but I haven't done. Oh, here we go. Let's just slow this down. So they are arriving and going to go around our flank as far as they possibly can. I assume, anyway. I'm going to move Dole's onto this fence. Not Dole's, Lane, sorry. So another thing in here, the AI can always know where your defenses are. So he knows immediately that we've got this defensive line set up, which means he knows he can go around if he needs to. Which, you know, it gives the AI a little helping hand, which is fine, I guess, but it's also annoying. Let's send skirmishers out from Weizsäcker's brigade. These guys are armed with Mississippi rifles. This is 1,300 cavalry. I mean, it might just be a feint. Of course, if nothing happens over on this left side, we will move troops from the left to our right. I think I might move Pegram's brigade across just to give some more support. Let's move them down, actually, onto the objective, onto the road. So from there, they can move quickly. I'm moving across Fitzhugh Lee's cavalry. Looks like that's 2 brigades, or they've got scouts. I gave long-range fire orders, but they don't seem to have reached our troops. I think they're still en route. More cavalry. Lane's boys have some experience. They're not brand new troops. Skirmishing started here. Long range fire from our rifle armed infantry. Oh. Yes, it seems to me that they are definitely a bit more aggressive. Previously, I don't think we would have seen this from the AI coming forward and engaging our infantry like that. That's fine. That's good. So he's encircled our guys. That's interesting to see. That's not something that would have happened previously. I'm going to have to pull those guys out of there. suspect they're going to break because they are surrounded by cavalry. Yet to see any infantry come forward. Let's get some skirmishers out from from Brian's brigade, sorry. See if we can take some pressure off these boys. Anything else happening? Let's just take a look. Just a cavalry issue on the right flank. I think we've managed to extricate Weizsäcker's infantry there. Infantry coming on the right flank as well. I think it might be a full attack coming. Alright. Let's get Pegram up here on this line. What we could do with Slack's brigade, division, we could do a little envelop in action. See how that goes. Weizsäcker managed to extricate himself. Excellent. Driving back the first cavalry. Nice job. Get some fresh skirmishers off from Weizsäcker. Get them behind this fence. Speed it up a little. We've been driven away. Excellent. Infantry coming forward though. First brigade is pulling back under fire. Fairly heavy fire. Not sure what Weizsäcker skirmishers are doing here. Let's pull Lane's skirmishers back. They've lost quite a lot of men there. Get Weizsäcker up on this line. Since we are being kind of attacked on this flank. Don't want to weaken our left too much, simply because we don't know what's coming. Sending Lee's cavalry onto the flank if they can get over this fence. I'm not sure how much of an obstacle that will be to them, guys. It'll be an obstacle of sorts, that's for sure. Let's get some skirmishers out from Cummins' brigade. Get these boys up here. Give the cavalry something to think about. And we've driven away their cavalry there. Excellent. Let's get Fitzhugh Lee's boys onto the flank of this infantry brigade. Pegram's arriving. Excellent. Driven the cavalry away. Yeah, anything else happening? Nothing so far. Just a little probe, really, by the Union. Keep up the pressure with our skirmishers. More infantry arriving here. Schleich's brigade. Oh, I didn't even notice they've arrived. Okay, let's just pause it a second. Yeah, Jocelyn rifle carbine, excellent, and the Maynard carbine. So they've got some excellent cavalry troopers here. Well, excellent, well-armed cavalry troopers. The problem is Ruggles' command doesn't have divisions or anything like that. They've got mixed muskets from most of the infantry. Oh, it's Springfield's actually. Springfield's and mixed muskets, okay. 6-pounder field guns. Not amazing, but, you know, we can blood them in this fight at least, so they lose their first battle debuff. That's good. I'm quite happy to keep driving these guys back piecemeal while they... I presume they're going to build up their troops here and push with a real attack. A lot of dead Union troops. Rosecrance's brigade is moving across onto the road. Not sure what their deal is. Brian's brigade's taking a bit of punishment here, but they have driven off the 1st Brigade, leaving bodies scattered all over the place. I'm going to push forward and see if we can push these guys back before this other infantry arrives. Been fairly aggressive here. Let's hold these guys. Our 6-pounders are in place, and hopefully we're going to do some firing here. Yep, we've broken that the cavalry again. Let's pull these boys back. His guns are coming into play now. He's got substantial numbers of guns. We're very much lacking in rifled artillery. He's going to press our centre, I think. I'm going to reposition the Williams guns. We're going to pull them off the line, take them back to the crossroads, and then move them onto the parapets. fairly tough firefight. $1,400 casualties for this first brigade. Army of the Susquehanna. Susquehanna? Very difficult word to say when you don't know it. Okay. What's going on here? See, now, we're losing a lot of men on here because he's blasting us with artillery, I think. I think this is one of the kind of things that people were talking about with the aggression towards your artillery units and things like that. That could be mistaken, but I think that's what people were having a bit of a gripe about. But, you know, I don't mind. I think that's okay. Let's get skirmishers out from these guys. Want to harass their guns up on the hill. Oh, we've got a wounded. Brian, damn it. Took me out of action for a while. Good Brian. Good Brigadier. Colonel, actually. I'm going to send Clark's boys. They are brand new with mixed muskets. I'm going to send them on a little counter-attack. We're going to see if we can smash this first brigade out of this battle. Clayton Senior's brigade with their sprinkled muskets pushed in here and are forcing back this attack. Now our skirmishers are engaging the first battery over here. Let's go ahead and get more skirmishers out though. Can't. Enemy must be too close. So they still got the majority of their force is still up here doing nothing. Our artillery's been blasted to hell. Let's get them out of there. Not scouts. I pressed the wrong button. Dismount. They're broken. Okay. So they've broken our guys, but they've lost 15 men. Even though they're in the open, we were behind cover. Never mind. So I was going to bring the Williams guns up here, but I think I'm not going to do that because we're going to end up just losing them, or at least a chunk of them, and we don't want that. We'll get Pickett's boys forward there for a bit of fighting. Cummins, get your skirmishers out. Let's get them up there. Get these guns harassed. Okay, Clark, now's your time. Hit them in the flank. And Lane as well. Push forward. He's actually bringing the infantry brigade forward. We're going to engage them with Clayton's brigade. No effect on these guns, really. Clark doesn't seem to fancy the fight here. Lane has pushed straight forward into this fight, nice. But Clark, with his new boys, not so good, not so much. Taking a while to get himself moving, but I mean they're untrained troops, so it's hard to say. Come on, let's keep up this pressure on the guns and on the infantry. Clayton, push in. Yeah, Clark's boys, slow movement, but like I say, they are untrained troops, which, you know, is always going to hinder. These guys are behind the fence. I don't fancy attacking them if we can help it, so we'll just hold lane here. We'll keep pushing on this center area. Kershaw and Cheatham's skirmishers pushing forward. Clayton is engaged with the 2nd Brigade, blasting away into their flank. Oh, Cummins' skirmishers lost a lot of men. I'm going to pull them out. I'd like George Pickett to go here, but I doubt his skirmishers will obey that. So look, again, no option to fire at these, just the melee option, no way to change that. Very annoying. Even with the dismounted cavalry, it's the same. Yet another problem of this game. Yeah, oh, these cavalry can though. Wow. Starting to drive those guns back. However, Clayton's brigade is involved in an open field firefight with the 2nd Brigade. It's their first battle here, Clayton's boys, so it's always a bit of a risk. They are supported by skirmishers. Second Brigade's holding firm. Clayton's still doing okay. Just 130 men. But here comes more infantry coming forward. Let's pull Clayton out of there. Fall back, sir. Leave the infantry, leave the skirmishers here to cover the retreat. Lane skirmishers done a nice job attacking this battery. So we've got Clark's brigade and Lane's brigade over here on the right, on our far right. About 5,000 men, give or take. We're going to keep them there. Should give them an issue on the flank. Yeah, so if these guys push straight down to attack our main line, they're going to have to deal with Lane and Clark on their flank. And that's a decent scenario, even poorly armed as these boys are. driven off those guns. Excellent. And the infantry brigade. Awesome. Let's pull Cheatham's boys out of there. Okay, here they come. Skirmishers back. Bring the Williams guns up to the line. Let's see what they can do, if anything. Rosecrans Brigade in the lead. Clark's boys are taking casualties. These guys have got rifles. We've only got muskets on this right flank, so it's a bit of a problem. Rosecrans Brigade taking close range artillery fire. Infantry fire into the flank. Williams guns have started firing as well. It says they're idle, but I can hear them firing. Okay, I think now's the time to launch a counter. So we're losing a handful of guns here. GM's pressing. Attacking our more vulnerable far right flank here. Another tough fight up here in Maryland. But we are getting the job done. Bit of a counter-attack going on here. Again, these are all infantry detachments in charge of artillery, as happens all the time in this game. Constantly. Clark's boys doing alright here, bearing in mind they've got terrible weapons and we're a bit exposed on the far right. No. No. What, like, in this kind of bullshit as well? It's just, why would you be advancing with your artillery? No, sir. Both artillery units have advanced out of the defences. It's just garbage. So in melee it says, but I mean, they're clearly not. I'm going to send Managle's detachment to capture these guns if we can. See what they actually are. See if they actually do it, because it doesn't look like they actually are. Oh yes, they are. Oh, routed. 61 casualties and you're running away like a friggin' bitch, okay. £6 field guns. That's all they ever seem to have. Ever. 3rd Brigade just fighting to the death here, it looks like. Another long fight. I like Clark to hold. He's lost a lot of men. If I pull him out, he will break. Oh, he's retreating. They're retreating. Okay. Oh, broken. I understand he's lost a lot of men, but come on, he's not even at the end of his resilience bar, and the enemy's withdrawing. So why would that be the point you choose to break? Let's speed this up. Clark will no doubt be defamed for that, but it's ridiculous if he is, really. Musket armed is definitely becoming a bit of an issue. Alright. Major victory again. 8,000 casualties for him, 3 and a bit thousand for us. We lost 13 guns, they lost 40, so not the easiest of fights, but you know, it was alright. And importantly, it's another major victory on Union soil. The Army of Occupation is fleeing in panic. Let's have a look here. The enemy has reportedly suffered casualties of 7,999 men. Thereof 1,200 killed and 1,400 captured. The morale is believed to be confident. We lost 3,200 men, 432 killed, 469 missing, the rest wounded. Morale is determined, supply situation critical. We captured almost 4,000 rifles and 17 guns. I bet they're all crap though. Took 1,400 prisoners. Our prison camp is overcrowded. We've got almost 10,000 in there now, but you know, that's okay. So, that was another fight in Maryland. This has been the Maryland campaign has been pretty damn busy. We're in the process of taking Harrisburg with the 2nd Corps up here, but I mean, I doubt we'll hold on to it. We're almost in winter quarters as well. This is where this fight just happened over here, just outside of Washington, D.C., which we've occupied. We've got Beauregard back in Virginian territory to recover his fatigue levels. Magruder just fought that battle, so what we got going on here? Officer casualties, bad weather. Let's just take a quick look here, because Good was wounded. Where's that? I say Good. Is it called Brian? I keep wanting to say Brian Good, but it's Good Brian. Okay, we're going to replace him. We've got Daniel Hill ready, so let's get him in there. Look, actually, we've got Colonel Seth Barton in charge of that division. I'm going to actually put Hill in charge of the division. So let's replace Hill with someone else for now. We'll put Gladden in place. And then Barton, who's a decent commander. Got nice stats, actually. But we're going to replace him with Hill. Hill's a bit more suitable to this division command. He's got fame, initiative, leadership, good administration, and decent cunning as well. And that gives us... who did I put in there? Gladden. He can actually stay there because he's a decent commander as well. Well, he's okay anyway, and that gives us Barton available to make a new division because we've got these new guys, and I'm going to make a new division with those dudes. Let's just take a look. Did we capture any guns worth mentioning? We did not. We've got nothing here to give out. A handful of James rifles, a handful of Parrots. I don't think we captured them, but I'm not sure, to be honest. Yeah, we've got nothing. Nothing at all. Just a handful of guns. We've got some on order. Okay, so that's no good. Clark's boys, they were engaged in that fight. He's not been defamed. At least these stats have come up as well, which is nice. But they are mixed musket arms. Let's have a look. Did we capture anything decent here? We've got a couple of thousand Springfield rifle muskets. I think we had them anyway. Nah. Nothing really. And that's not too good. So, that was a decent fight anyway. The national morale's back to 40. We had brought that down to 37. It's back up to 40. How is that? How can that be? They've just lost a massive battle there. Maybe because they recaptured Baltimore. So we're going to push Ruggles up with this Virginia HQ to see if we can lay siege to some of these forts that we've just lost. Actually, Magruder's besieging that fort. That's okay. There's no real garrisons in these. And Ruggles Corps does have a perk for sieging, so that could be okay. Something arrived. 10,000 Mississippi rifles. Nice. Fort Monroe's been repaired as well. And something else, if you besiege a fort, it takes forever to take it. If the AI besieges a fort, it's done in a couple of days. A couple of hours sometimes. Yep, excellent. We've taken Fort McHenry back. Now we're taking Annapolis, and that should hopefully give us this depot, which would be handy. So Ruggles is actually looking pretty good these days. Give out some of these Springfield rifles. Not Springfield rifles. Mississippi rifles. That takes their national morale to 28. This is almost done. So I'm going to end the episode here. I think maybe in the next episode we're going to see the end of this conflict. Possibly, although we are kind of in a race against time because it's almost winter. Just before we go, let's have a look here. We could get Austrian rifles. It might be handy to have that, actually. Parrot rifles, another one I would like. British weapons would be better because they also get you access to artillery, but I mean, I'm not sure. Propaganda, I've been waiting for that one. Okay, let's actually do this and see what that brings us. Is this... That's politic funding. Okay, so let's do propaganda. Hang on, just before we do this. Where are we at? So we're at 71 support in Virginia, 51 in Kentucky. I think they were the two only problem places we had. 82 in Arkansas. Okay. Let's put that through and see what difference that makes. So propaganda. Plus 1%. So not too much. 72. Was that 71 before? 52. So there's a slight increase. Yeah, like 1% increase across the board. Okay, so that makes sense. Oh, we're also working on Diplomacy 1. The Union just got that. So, what do we got here? Like, it makes sense to increase weapons production because we can already get some weapons. But they're really slow to come through. So let's do that. We'll do weapons production. Prussian weapons miles off. British weapons I'm not even seeing here. Have I just missed that? French weapons still some way off as well. Oh, British rifles, sorry. Way off. But we can't get Austrian rifles, so I'm going to go ahead and get the Austrian rifles. It's going to help our problems here because it's taken us ages and ages to get any sort of weapons coming through. We're also going to go with the next level of recruitment officers. That's giving us 15% more volunteers. Next, we're going to go with logistics reform. So we're spending a lot of our subsidy money here. But that's awesome. That's great. So we've got that in there. Okay. So our finances should start looking a little bit better with the logistics reform, because that starts to take down the army upkeep and things like that. Let's take a look how long it takes to order weapons these days. So 5,000 new Maynard carbines would take 180 days. Let's do that. We've got a bunch of 24-pound howitzers available now. They must have just arrived. Nice. So, the Augustin rifle musket is not amazing, but it's okay. It would take 66.6 days for 5,000. 94 days for 10,000. Let's order 10,000 of those. They're a little bit like a reboard musket, but with a bayonet, so they're okay. As we can see here, the time is starting to come down for these weapons. So 83 days for another 10,000 Mississippi rifles. I'm going to order them. Because if this goes into the next campaign year, which I suspect it's going to, I want to have some weapons available so we can push this over. Can't we usually get more than just those Augustins? I thought you could usually get another kind of rifle. The Lawrence rifle. Am I missing that? Oh, there it is. Okay. Let's also order 10,000 of those. Now, they are a little better. They're kind of the equivalent to the Springfield rifle musket. They're not much different to those. Almost identical, in fact. In terms of performance, anyway. Okay, so we've got a bunch of weapons on order, and that's awesome. So I'm going to leave the episode right there. Next episode, I think we might be able to finish this. We just had to issue bonds because we just bought a shitload of stuff. I think we might be able to finish this in the next episode. Maybe not, but we might well be able to. We've taken all the way up to Harrisburg there. This is how the front lines are looking. Jeez. So I think if this was real, if this was real life, this war would be over now. The Union would have sued for peace, surely. I think a big part of the success we've had in the last few episodes is pulling out of Missouri. It was just so pointless contesting this. So I pulled our army out of there, and they are sitting back in Arkansas, so we could fight on friendly territory should the Union choose to invade, which they haven't done so far. They may still do this. There could still be a Union counter-thrust. I mean, they've got a lot of men in the field. 360,000 or 269,000. So we'll see where this goes, but I mean, they are almost done for. Almost done for. So hopefully I'll see you in the next one for what I think will be the last episode. If you've been watching the series through, have a little think about what you'd like to see next. Will I just go straight back into an 1861 start? I think I'm going towards doing another Confederate campaign. I just prefer the Confederate campaign. The Union campaigns are not as much fun, I don't think. And I don't think as many of you guys like to watch the Union campaigns. If I'm wrong about that, do drop it in the comments and let me know. Anyway, I'll catch you later. Ta-ra for now.